Hôm nay thì cái chương trình của mình sẽ có hai cái chủ đề, đó là đầu tiên là của Mr. Carsten, là founder của OKR Asia, và Mr. Carsten sẽ trình bày nội dung là From Strategy to OKRs. Và thứ hai nữa sẽ có là diễn giả là Đào Hồng Đức, một tech lead đến từ FPT Software, và bạn Đức thì sẽ trình bày cái chủ đề là CI/CD microservice và cái kinh nghiệm áp dụng. Đầu tiên là cảm ơn các anh chị hôm nay đã có mặt trong cái buổi webinar số 4 này, trong cái chuỗi webinar của Bittrain tổ chức. Em xin phép được mời Mr. Carsten trình bày cái phần trình bày của mình. Và hôm nay thì rút kinh nghiệm của những cái webinar trước thì bên em có kéo dài cái thời gian ra để cho các anh chị có thể có thời gian trình bày và mọi người có thể tương tác nhiều hơn với các diễn giả. Thì Mr. Carsten sẽ có là 50 phút cả trình bày và cả Q&A. Hello Mr. Carsten. Can you please introduce something about yourself before starting your introduction?
Yeah, I have some introduction slides anyway, but I'm happy to be here. I'm already 10, 11 years in Vietnam, but I will do OKRs better in English. Yeah, we also have some Vietnamese consultants if you need Vietnamese support.
Okay, okay. You can share your slide.
I can share my slide.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will share my slide. So here we go.
Okay.
Good. So thanks everybody for having me here. Yeah, my name is Carsten Ley. Maybe you have heard from us, OKR Asia, a lot in the OKR, objective and key result, goal setting and goal achievement topic. Today we will speak about strategy to OKRs, because November is actually a very good time to do some strategy reviews, or in agile companies, at least North Star, or at least a review in startups if you still survive next year. Sorry for the joke, but yeah, you never know. So a little bit longer thinking, right? When is your money running out and stuff like that? That's what normally companies do in November. So you should not start directly with a shorter goal setting like OKRs, which is 3 months. You need a little bit more long-term thinking, and we will practice that today. So I'm already 11 years in Vietnam. I have previously worked for Home Credit and Lazada Vietnam, mainly as a project manager. I was also one of the first ones who was interested in PMI Vietnam. I was in Bali with the founders in 2014, but then as a foreigner, I was somehow blacklisted and I never really got in touch with PMI again, because it's very Vietnamese driven, but I will try. I stay in touch, of course, with PMI Vietnam, but recently I'm more with PMI Singapore again, because we also run our company in Singapore. Before Vietnam, I was working in Citibank Germany and in Deloitte Consulting Germany and for Volkswagen Mexico in Mexico. We are a team of 5-6 consultants. We have also some freelance consultants. We also work for Atoha, for example. We have a partnership. So we partner with a lot of people, right? We are also one of the many. Bosch was asking, Bosch Systems, some of you are serving them already. We will also start very fast soon with them. Yeah, so I think when it comes not only to OKRs, because our parent company is called Asia PMO, yeah, we do a lot of project management consulting, agile management consulting in Vietnam and in Southeast Asia. So we don't limit us. You will see us in 2 weeks in Bangkok on the Agile tour in Bangkok. We are speakers there, and we also give some OKR workshops there. Yeah. Good. So let's dive into the topic. The question is, how high do you fly? I mean, on which level of an organization are you, and how far do you think ahead? And even if you are on a lower or on a mid-level of an organization, you should know at least about a strategy or long-term goals, let's say 1 to 3 years of an organization. If you don't know, maybe you should ask your leadership. If your leadership doesn't know, maybe you don't have a good leadership. Yeah, that's a test. If the leadership cannot explain you why things happening or should happen, then it's normally an alarm signal that the leadership is not very good. So we have strategy goals 1 to 3 years, OKRs, objective and key results, around 3 months. We can also do yearly ones, 3 months. And then what we do on a daily basis, I mean, we call action, you probably call tasks, issues, whatever you call, right? Now, the daily action is the climbing up and down, whatever you do on a daily basis. Yeah, and I think everybody from you can explain us that very well. But the question is, why are you doing that? What are the next peaks you wanna reach in a 3 months basis? And what is the overall direction of the company? And this is a part which in OKRs, a lot of companies fail. Yeah, because leadership is not very good in explaining that. Yeah, so OKRs, implementing OKRs is not only a challenge for employees to be on a 3 months rhythm and to be tracked and to report against it. It's also a challenge for leadership because we want to know the whys. Now, before we even dive into OKRs, we ask our client companies normally what's their strategy or what's their North Star. Some companies, more traditional companies, have a mission, vision, and values. One exercise we do with companies, because values are normally very abstract, yeah, and I'm not a big fan of values. You see here excellence, integrity. I mean, these are the ones every company has. So it's also very inspecific because it's like copied from American textbooks or maybe from PMI pen book. Yeah. So we ask companies to explain values in do and don't behaviors. Yeah. And this is very funny. If you do that with the top management, and we have a lot of workshop like that, or with middle management, they know what is integrity. They cannot say it in a very clear do and don't sentence because maybe these people are a little over-educated. I see a guy sleeping on his bed. I'm not sure if we have to see that. Maybe you want to switch off your camera, whoever lies on the bed here. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. So do's and don't behavior. So maybe don't lie on your bed while you have your camera on, Mr. Tam. I would switch the camera off. Doesn't look very beautiful. Sorry for that. Yeah, very distracting. Thank you. Do's and don'ts in a video call. Get a nice background. I think you see that also with our host. If you don't want to clean up your bed or your flat, why don't you upload a digital background? Maybe behind me, there's a lot of chaos in my office. You don't know. Okay, think about it. Doesn't cost anything. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Cathy. Các anh chị ơi, mình có thể anh chị nào mà mình tiện á, mình có thể bật cam lên giúp em được không ạ? Dù sao hôm nay cũng là một diễn giả đến từ nước ngoài á, thì em mong các anh chị mình có thể bật cam và tương tác với diễn giả dễ hơn ạ. Em cảm ơn. Okay, please.
Okay, good. The teddy bear is cool. That is really cool. Yeah, good. Sorry, I see your videos, guys. It makes me a little bit distracted. I will switch it off on my side. Yeah. Okay, good. So do's and don't behavior. So don't have only abstract values, also explain your staff the do's and don't behaviors. Now in startups, we don't call it mission vision. Normally, we only have one sentence, which we call North Star, right? And you should at least have that somewhere in November, December before you do the yearly planning. Strategy is something where you want to go the next 1 to 3 years. Values, behaviors, we spoke about that. And when we do strategy workshop with company, we just did one with a company called Amanotes and Fire Group and some of the startups around here. We use different analysis tools like SWOT, TOES, retrospective surveys, and so on. Yeah. So don't start with short goal setting. I know a lot of you are starting with roadmaps and sprint planning and even single sprints, but that doesn't help. You should know a little bit in the long term where you want to go. We have a lot of startup clients, and when we come to them, they're like, oh, we want to develop an app. And this is so boring. Everybody wants to develop an app. I mean, sorry, that doesn't inspire. You know, if I'm a developer and you tell me, wow, we develop an app, and another guy comes along and gives me more money, I would go to another guy because the other guy also develops an app for sure. So you have to be a little bit more creative in your vision, mission, or strategy than just telling people, oh, we develop an app. Yeah. That's sometimes not easy for management. So there are two ways we can go ahead about strategy. One is a little bit more KPI based and old styled, what we call the operation based strategy. So you have an overall company strategy, and then immediately you break it down into different departments and teams. We have seen that a lot in banks, insurances. Now we have also one client from us, Techcombank. They have now an Agile Center of Excellence where they try another approach. Funnily, Techcombank also has a PMO, and we talked to both of them, and they didn't know that we talked both of them because they don't talk to each other. The PMO Techcombank and the Agile Center of Excellence Techcombank, they both sit in Hanoi. Very funny story. Maybe you know them. Yeah. But at least they try. They try to integrate a little bit. So if you want to do OKRs, don't do operation-based strategy, because operation-based strategy leads to KPIs. So you make marketing KPIs, you make operational finance KPIs. So you silo people from the top. And if you probably work in agile management, you know that this is the worst. You want to bring people later together cross-functionally. So if you already silo people from the top, you kill them already. You kill all the cross-functional project work on the top. The better approach is that we do a business value-based strategy. So you ask yourself, what are the strategic layer or goals related to the strategy we want to achieve? And normally when you speak about strategic layers or goals, these are topics, and these topics have nothing to do with department or teams first. Yeah, so you first decide which topics, strategic layers, no matter what, roadmaps or whatever you call them, you want to work on. And later you decide which people in the company will work against them. And that's where the OKRs come in. Okay, let's make a quick exercise. You can use the chat for that. I mean, please use the chat system to give some answers. What are OKRs? What does OKR stand for? What does the abbreviation OKRs stand for? Can somebody type that in the chat?
Các anh chị có thể chat nha. Không có anh chị nào có thể trả lời giúp em ạ?
Yeah, okay. Actually, it's very good, but there's one letter missing. It's objective and key results. Yes. Because one objective has several key results, and that's exactly why is it better than KPIs, because we bring different people under one objective together with different measurement parts, which we call key results. Yeah, objective and key results. Yeah, OKRs. Good. Now, if you look at this poster, and maybe you know Crash Landing on You, I don't know who watched that, or you know Saving Private Ryan or Liverpool. Okay, Huấn, I haven't asked a question. How can you answer before I ask a question? That's can I first ask the question before you answer? So I was asking, yeah, if you see any objectives or key results on this poster. Can you see any objective or key results on this poster? Now, Huấn was very fast. Huấn, are these objectives or key results? Saving Ryan and make Liverpool champion. Are these objectives or key results? Yes, these are objectives. Saving Private Ryan is a little bit of old movie. Sorry for that. Liverpool to be a champion, making, I don't know, make, but to be a champion, these are very good objectives. Does anybody see another objective here? Okay, if not, let's stay with Liverpool, vielleicht. So the objective is be a champion club. Let's make it a little bit so. Maybe not make, maybe be or become. Become is like make. Yeah, then it's coming closer to what Huấn said. Become a champion club. So I need now, below that, I need several key results how I can measure that. Can anybody give me measurable key results? How can I measure that Liverpool is a champion club? In numbers, ideally. KRs should be numbers. Okay. Okay, this is a possible key result, but that's a very lame one, because finishing something by a date is like a task oriented, or what we call milestone oriented key results. We don't like them. We like key results with numbers. Yeah. It's possible to make milestone or date oriented. Yeah. But it's better by number. You have get the champion position. Why don't you put a number in this key result? Can anybody help Huấn to put in her champion position instead of a date, a real number to measure it? By the way, Tung Kao, what does CP mean? CP.
Chị Thương còn đó hả?
What is CP? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's also something very funny in companies. You know, CP is not the abbreviation for champion. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I don't think so. But I find it very funny that a lot of companies, and it's good that you make the mistake. A lot of companies, when they write key result, they write their internal abbreviation. And I hate it. First, because I'm an external consultant and I don't understand one word. And second, you have every month new joiner in the company. Don't use this crazy abbreviation nobody understands. OKR have something very important. It's about being clear and precise. Yeah. So rank number 1, that's measurable. Okay. To be number 1, yeah, in a league or in the Champions League is measurable. 3 goals average per each match. Is that enough? Is that a key result to be a champion? Is that a key result to be a champion? I mean, as a champion, you should win a certain amount of games. If you make 3 goals, maybe the other makes 4 goals and nobody cares about your 3 goals. So I don't think 3 goals is a good key result, because the key result doesn't help to be champion. So you have to select key results which make you directly a champion. Winning a certain number of games, being on a certain position helps a lot. Yeah, or percentage of win. I'm also not a big fan of percentage key results because they are very abstract and very difficult to understand. 100 points is crazy, but yeah, that's a good key result, but that's very ambitious. I think it's more like 90 points or 80 points, like I understand the Premier League. Good. Now, to be a champion, it's not only about winning. To be a champion is also for the fans and for the people. How can you measure fans and people and engagement? Does anybody has an idea? Not only measuring winning, also measuring, I mean, I have a very bad example. I'm German, so I don't like the French league for sure. And I hate Paris. Paris for me is not a football club. That's an insult of a football club because they only win their own league, which is super easy, the French league, and they haven't won anything else. So they are not a champion club for me. Yeah. Okay, THÖNG Cao, what you wrote is good. Score 3 goals, win at least 80%, but these are 2 key results. One trick is also never put more than one measurement in one key result. Because if you measure 2 things, these are 2 key results. But let's go back to what I said. How can you measure if you are successful with people? If you are really a champion and if people like you, how can you measure that? How do we know that people like clubs like Liverpool or Madrid, but they don't like Paris so much? How do we know that? Okay, audience become fan. How do we know if they become fan? What do you normally do if you become fan? And don't do always percentages. Why don't you use real numbers? You don't have to use percentages all the time. You can use real numbers. Okay, but how do you know? Okay, yeah, you have an occupancy rate of the stadium. Yeah, how many people come to every game? So minimum 60,000 people. Very good. How many fan clubs do we have? That's also a good one. Yeah. So very good with audiences. Yeah, fan clubs. And there's another very important number in football. What else do they measure to know if they are popular or not, or if their players are popular? Does anybody know? So how many go to the stadium? Google, of course, likes on Instagram. T-shirt sales. One important number in soccer is T-shirt sales. That's a key result. If you have a lot of key T-shirt sales, especially from new players you bought, yeah, because they are successful, that's also how you can measure, because people run around with their T-shirt, so they are fans. Okay, your players are in the top 5 player area, yeah, or they win some international trophies, yeah. Okay, that's good. So there are a lot of things we can measure, and that's actually the trick about objective and key result. You have one objective, become a champion, and then you have a lot of KRs how you can measure that, and that's much better than having only one KPI, which normally is sales. Right? You can also measure a football club only about the net worth or the sales, but that's very boring. So in a company, we want to do the same. We want to ask what are the objectives and from how many different angles can we measure that? And then you see also in our example, we have measurements about winning. So the trainer and the team have to work on it. We have measurements on T-shirt sales. So marketing has to work on it. So you see that different teams work against the same objective. Good. Actions. Actions are things we do on a daily basis. So that's the big difference to key results. Key results is something you measure and helps the objective, and actions is what you do on a daily basis. What are you doing on a daily basis as a football club? What are the actions or the tasks of a football club on a daily basis? Practice, yeah. Training, practice. What else do they do? Yeah, sometimes they even fire or hire, yeah, practice 4 hours a day, yeah. Sometimes they also fire and hire players and trainers, yeah. These are actions. Now, why are these actions and not key results? Because a lot of clubs around the world practice 4 hours a day. A lot of clubs around the world fire and hire players and trainers. Even in my small hometown in Germany, they do that, but they are never a champion club. So whatever you do on a daily basis and doesn't bring you closer directly to the objective is an action, not a key result. So before you define key results, you should ask yourself, does it really help the objective? Training every 4 hours doesn't help you directly to become a champions club because everybody does it. Yeah. You need the right players, you have to win, you need fans and so on. Okay. You need money, probably a lot of money. Good. Any questions so far? I can make a quick break. Any questions so far?
Anh chị nào muốn đặt câu hỏi không ạ?
Okay, so just interrupt me after the slide. Good. Now, I found that one. I just included that in my tier theory 2 weeks ago. I really love it. Be careful, and that's the problem of KPIs. A measurement is not a target. Because the moment a measurement is a target, it ceases to be a good measure. It's not a good measure anymore. So if you measure people on how many nails they make in a factory or the weight of nails, they can manipulate it. If you measure people on how many nails they make thousands of very small nails with all the material they have. If you measure people on the weight, they make very big, heavy nails. And you cannot, and why do they do that? Because management doesn't tell the people for what they do the nails. And that's a big problem in company. Yeah. I mean, you have to tell people why you make this job. What is the impact on the bigger, to which project, to which bigger result does it go? If you just let people work and say, hey, make nails, but they don't know for what, for a car, for a wall, or the big nails maybe for a train, yeah, doesn't make sense. That's why it's so important to tell people why, and it's so important to have objectives and not only numbers to give to people. Yeah, and you know that from salespeople, especially. Salespeople have money targets. Sometimes they bring the wrong clients, and the clients are not good for you. Even they make very fast money, but in the long run, these are the wrong clients because you only give them money targets, not quality targets. Good. Why should we implement OKRs in an organization? Now, if you are a factory or if you are even a customer service center, maybe KPIs are better for you because OKRs are about strategic alignment. Now, people in a factory and people who work in a call center, they don't want a strategic align. So first think if your organization is really ready for something like OKRs. It's an agile goal setting, which we change every 3 months. If you want to go a little bit slower, we can also do every 6 months. Last year, we implemented Panasonic Singapore. We did with them 6 months because they have very long-running projects. And it's about regularly review and tracking and very clear and transparent. So we will show the OKRs from all levels in one dashboard. So if your company is very secretive and they don't want to show to lower level numbers, then maybe you are also not good for OKRs. Yeah, or we can only do OKRs for a part of the company, management or special team. Yeah. So these are a little bit, this is the purpose of why companies should do OKRs if they want this 4 dimension. So you should ask yourself. Let's do an exercise together. So I will give everybody like 2-3 minutes, and please take these 2-3 minutes before you answer in the chat. So don't answer immediately. And Huấn Lan, you haven't even got my question yet, so don't answer now. Okay, but give everybody 3-4 minutes, please. Yeah. So we make a holiday exercise. It's very easy. The objective is, where do you want to go? So it's a city or a country. Is that clear? The objective is a city or a country. Yeah, I will write it in the chat. Objective is a city or a country. The purpose is the purpose of the holiday. So you can go for work, you can relax, you can go with family. Yeah, anything you want to do. But now the trick is, you have to make the objective and the purpose measurable. Yeah. So I need 1 or 2 key results. So you first think about the objective. Where do you want to go? What is the purpose of this trip? And then how you can measure the purpose and the objective. Clear? I give everybody like 3-4 minutes. Please don't write in the chat now, write in 3-4 minutes. Okay? Thank you. Any questions? Let me know. Okay, if somebody has an objective and a purpose, you can already write the objective and the purpose, not yet the key results. Please write the objective and the purpose.
Các anh chị có thể chat ra được anh. Anh chị nào có câu trả lời chat giúp em ạ.
Okay, so we have a full example here from Anne. That's good. Objective city. I mean, it would be good if you tell us which city, but city is okay. So you travel for work, that's clear. You have to meet in the trip 5 new business partners. That's good. Find at least 1 new customer and visit 5 regular customers. Good. That's all very measurable, right? And I also like that you have what we call more an outcome result, which is the customer, not only partners. Yeah, that's very good. Very good. Thank you. So, Hung, the purpose is relax with family. That's great. Where do you go? Where do you go for relax? Country. Okay, which country? China. Okay. So how can you measure that you relax in China? How can you measure that? And relax is a very difficult purpose to measure. I understand that, but it's possible. Everything is measurable. So how can you measure in a key result that you relax? Because that's what you want to achieve. If anybody has an idea, you can also help home. Stay at least 4 days in China. Okay, that's not bad. So minimum 4 days out. Okay, let's stay with China first. Stay at least 4 days in China. So 4 days is a good time to relax. Okay. How can we relax in China? Okay, try local food. Okay, yeah, I mean, I understand that a lot of people are relaxed when they eat food. That's good, yeah? So that's good. Try at least 5 local food. Then we have another example from Tung Kao. Bali, Iceland, purpose, relax, yes? Okay, book flight and accommodation is not a key result. These are actions. It has nothing to do, because on every trip you book flight and accommodation. So it's not really something you achieve. It's just something you do. Okay, so book flight and accommodations are typical actions. We don't count them as key results. reach 5 places, that could be a key result. Yeah. If you go 5 days, every day a new place, that could be a key result. Then we have Quang Hai, purpose, make a better bond for the family. That's great. Go to a beach during the holiday. That's good. 4 days together, enjoy one trip to the local, yeah, have group discussion. Now, number 3, a discussion is not measurable, yeah? I mean, there must be any number. And I'm not really sure if a discussion is bonding. And I mean, I'm from Germany. Sometimes a discussion in my country cannot be very bonding. Yeah. So maybe something fun, that you have a group exercise or do something or achieve something together. That would be more a key result. A discussion, it's like when you say in a company, a team meeting is not a key result. Yeah. What comes out of the discussion and the meeting? Yeah. But the rest is good. 4 days together. And the actions are planning, tickets. You're right. These are actions. Then we have Hong, take holidays, rest and recharge. So how can you measure that at the end of the trip you are rested and recharged? How can you measure that? So not during the trip, at the end of the trip you are rested and recharged. How do you know that? Anybody can put a KR. 3 days minimum, okay, yeah. But how can you measure that you are rested and recharged? We had some examples. We had this already with some companies. They had the same examples like you. And they said that during the trip, you have to sleep minimum 8 hours, yeah, without interruption. That's an indicator. You have to sleep minimum 8 hours, or you have to go latest at 10 to bed, for example. Yeah. Or you don't look at your phone for 5 days. Yeah. These are key results. Yeah. That can be something you can measure. Good. But I think you understand the idea. So an objective is, where do we go? An objective normally has a purpose. Why? So when you tell people we want to sell to a lot of clients, tell them also why. Yeah. And then you have the measurable KRs below. And everything you do on a daily basis are actions. I think so. You understand the basic concept of OKRs, which is great. Good. Now, if we implement OKRs, as I already said, the departmental structure, a lot of OKR consultants do that with you. And OKR tools you can buy on the market, they have departmental OKRs or team OKRs. The advantage is, if you do it by departments or teams, you have a very clear hierarchy. So you know who is the objective owner, who is the KR owner, who does the actions, you know when does the team meet, how does the team work together. The disadvantage is you go in a departmental or team structure. And as a startup, you should not do that. As a traditional company, maybe, but as a startup, you should never do that. There is no idea in innovation. You don't mix people. You take away accountability from people because they always follow their leader only, right? And it's very slow in the implementation. So if you want to be a little bit faster and you want to be about ideas, please set up your OKRs in projects from the beginning on. Yeah, project-based, and put the right people from different teams under these objective and key results together. Yeah, that's what normally startups and agile companies are doing. Yeah, so it's good for ideas. It's also try, fail fast, very, very fast collaboration between the teams. Now, how do we set up OKRs? We have objectives. So we had the strategy or the North Star, right? And out of these, we get normally 3 to 5 company objectives for a year or for a quarter. And when we have the quarterly objectives, we put under the quarterly company objectives key results. Yeah. The objectives are normally probably on C-level or management level. The key results can be already distributed to different teams or to different projects. Yeah. So you work cross-functionally against the same objective. Yeah, so you have already a mix there. Some companies, especially startups, they also have high-level company objectives, and then they do project sub-objectives, and then they go into key results. So you don't need on company level key results if you don't want to measure. You can also say we are very agile and we give more responsibility to the teams. We only set the objective on company level, and the teams are the one, or the projects are the one who measure. That's we see a lot in smaller startups, around 20, 30 people. Yeah, and then below the key results, you have actions in order to achieve the key results. Yeah, so if you had key results now in your example that you want to make one trip a day, or one special trip a day, or you want to have one customer each day, so you have to make a lot of preparation actions to get there. Yeah. And you can delegate, of course. Junior team members probably don't even have key results. Junior team members only have actions that can happen. So you can delegate around here. That's the accountability. Why do we want to do OKR? So what I already told you, it's really important that every employee in the company understands why they are here and how they contribute to the strategy or the North Star or the overall direction of the company, like in this example. Yeah. So nobody in the company should say, oh, I'm a developer, I develop an app. They should tell you at least what is the app for and which feature they develop, which helps the app or the market or the customer or whatever. They have to have this understanding. The same for graphic designers. A graphic designer should not only make designs. They should know what are you doing with these designs. Are you using them for social media or for the web page and so on? Okay. That's everything. Well, next slide is a Q&A. Just a quick introduction what we do as OKR Asia. So the part we help companies, now in November, we have a lot of strategy workshop. That's once a year. They want to review or set up the strategy with that. And then a normal OKR cycle looks like that. It's a 3-month cycle that we start with training in the first quarter. So what the slides you saw today, but much more slides, that all the staff is trained how to set up and use OKR. We do a lot of writing exercises on OKRs, and how to measure them is very important. And after we have the training done, we do setup workshops on company level, on project level, on team level. And this is very important for OKRs, because OKRs is not like KPIs that one person decides what you should do and what you should measure. We should do this always as a management together, or as a project or a team together. That's why we call it workshops. Yeah, there are minimum 5, 10, 15 people. And they align the OKRs together at the beginning of the quarter. And then we have a weekly or bi-weekly tracking, normally like 1 hour, where we ask you, what actions have you done and how do they influence the key results? So maybe you say you're from the football club and say, yeah, we made a lot of advertisement about a t-shirt. But for me, in OKRs, it's not important that you make advertisement about a t-shirt. For me, the only thing which counts is how many people were interested or actually bought the t-shirt. So actions is good to report, but it's more important to report every week or every 2 weeks results. And this is also the mindset we want to change in your company, that everybody in the company not only thinks about, oh, I finished that, I have that date, and then I go home and I finish 10 tasks. People should think, did my task really achieve something? Yes or no? That's the big mindset shift with OKRs. Yeah. And then at the end of the 3 months, there will be a review. What have we achieved? And then in the review, we automatically set up the OKRs for the next quarter. Yeah. That's the rhythm. What else we do is sometimes companies ask us for existing OKR or KPI reviews. We also recommend OKR tools. We don't have one, but we have a lot of partners in the field. We do OKR coaching with startup founders who want to try it for themselves first, alone. And we also have a webpage called OKRchamp.com, which is an OKR champions training and certification in English and in Vietnamese, yeah, both languages. So this is what we do. This is our OKR offering. Anything is possible here. Yeah. Besides, we also do project and agile management, because that's important here in the tracking, because you need to organize your work in projects in order to achieve OKRs. So everything is a little bit connected. Good. This is the Q&A. If you have any feedback or questions to us, you can also scan the QR code to get in touch with us. And now I think we have like 10 minutes Q&A here, maybe on the chat or on open microphone if you want. Okay, it's already starting. Wow. Okay, my company is an outsourcing company and there is no OKR. As a group leader, what should I do? I mean, there are two ways how you can implement OKRs. Forget about a strategy workshop, okay? If you look only at the blue part here, let me go one back. You can start either OKRs on company level or you can start OKRs on team level. So if you can convince your director and say, hey, can we try OKRs on company level, one quarter as a pilot? And if every director likes that, we bring it down to the team level. And if the director say, no, I don't want that, I don't want to impact the whole company, then you can also say, oh, I want to try OKRs only for my team. And that's possible. So we take all the input, what you get, even KPIs or strategy from above, and we make an OKR pilot 3 months only with your team or your project. And then you have ideally what we call like a change management or a presentation scenario. If it's successful, we can then show it to the director rather than just talking about that. Okay, but we would always recommend a 3 months OKR pilot. Yeah, I will write it on company or project/team level. So don't, if the company is convinced, don't try to start to convince about a full OKR implementation. Yeah. A lot of companies who approach us, and they, like Panasonic, for example, they are a manufacturing company with a little bit innovation center. We convinced them to first do a pilot with us. We told them, don't buy a full implementation. Make first a pilot with us, and then we will see if you are ready or not. Yeah. Then, from your experience, what are the top reasons that companies fail to apply OKR specifically in Vietnam? I mean, Vietnamese companies are often very top-down. If you have a very top-down company with a very strong leadership who doesn't trust their people or doesn't give more authority to the people or to the teams, it doesn't work. Second, I have seen companies like Home Credit, which is run by a lot of Europeans. They like to silo everything in departments. I mean, the sales director in Home Credit doesn't like to align with the risk director, right? They have their own little kingdoms. If you have this situation, foreign or Vietnamese company, OKR doesn't work, because OKR is about cross-functional working together, similar like Agile. Yeah. So you need cross-functional working, you need less top-down. Yeah. And you also need transparency. Yeah, and we see a lot that there in Vietnam, there is sometimes not much transparency to staff level. So you will not tell them what the company is doing, what are the targets, and so on. Yeah. And the same thing, if you are not sure if your company is ready, what we always look for in companies is find the most agile team. So if somebody wants to make a case, I always say, why don't we start with the product team? Or why do we start with a project team? Don't start with a manufacturing or customer service team, which normally likes to run on KPIs, yeah, or with sales. Start with a more agile team to make a pilot and see if it works. Yeah. You can also mix OKR and KPIs for companies. So some companies do both. Yeah. The traditional teams do KPI, the more innovative teams do OKRs. No problem. We can mix it. Okay. Any other question?
Còn anh chị nào mình muốn đặt câu hỏi nữa không ạ? Nếu mà muốn đặt trực tiếp thì các anh chị có thể bật mic lên và nói giúp em nhé.
Okay. That's probably it. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, you can send Bittrain the questions. We can provide you with the presentation as a PDF. So we will send the Bittrain the PDF version, and you can send it out to all participants. No problem. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Carson. And okay. Còn anh chị nào mình muốn đặt câu hỏi nữa không ạ? Nếu mà không thì cũng đúng giờ thì em sẽ xin phép được mời diễn giả khác nhé. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Carson. Okay, we really appreciate for your presentation today. Thank you.
Thank everybody for the engagement. We had very good answers in the chat, and also very good questions at the end. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Về phần trình bày của Mr. Carson thì em sẽ gửi file PDF vào mail cho mọi người sau nhé. Ok ạ.